And Nepal also have the same food.
Okay.
The story's on the back. I ain't gotta read the menu. There we go. See?
Yeah, I'm ordering food, but I'm reading.
There you go. We'll read this story out. This is what Fluffy loves to read. This is where we're at. India's OG smoothie. There you go. Look at that. India's OG smoothie.
Think you know what you want?
Fries or something.
Yeah.
I feel like I got this thawing at home. Gotta eat it.
I want an order of French fries.
French fries.
And I want the fried chicken momo.
Fried chicken.
Oh, and what you said? Local beer? What beer? LaRue. That's it.
Yes.
Okay, I'll try it. I don't know. I've never had it before. Is it cold though?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I'll take one.
What are you gonna get, Dale?
I'm just gonna get fries. Cause I'm gonna eat one again. I think they're fiery fries
Fury fries.
or fury fries.
Tyson Fury? Let's see. I guess.
Is it really spicy?
Yeah, it is spicy.
Like a 10? Like a 10?
We can make it 10. I don't know how much you can take. It depends, but we can make it like 5, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, not very spicy.
Yeah.
Chicken. Can I get a steamed chicken and a fried chicken?
Steamed chicken, fried chicken.
Can I get? I know. I think you bring different sauce, but definitely the white sauce.
Sour beer.
The mayo. Yeah. I like that one, and I like the other one too. Thank you.
Steamed and fried chicken. That's it.
Thank you. There's discount Dale or upscale Dale now, and that is Mark.
What is this, Rubik's Cube?
Oh, is that a Rubik's Cube? Look at that. Joseph, come on, man. You do it every time. You come in here and ask who's single. This is not Tinder. This is YouTube Live. So I don't know if it's your stick or what the hell. 45,000 VND. Not $45,000. The crispy ones are my go-to, but I wanted to show you guys one steamed and one crispy. You guys know where the Rubik's Cube is from? I know it specifically. I bet you guys don't know without Googling it. You guys know where the inventor of the Rubik's Cube is from? I'll give you guys 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From Czech, because I was there. And that's how I found that out. This is Vietnamese. Vietnamese dong. 25,000 to the dollar. But
Right before I left, I just started watching this fascinating thing at the cafe. It was a documentary they did on this Canadian guy who created an exchange back in 1816 in Canada. And so there was all this conspiracy theory that he didn't really die. Basically, it was a Ponzi scheme.
no, I don't think it's regulation.
He was like funneling money off the exchange. There were so many of those in the early days. But the story was just, man, it was just. And all these investigative journalists are still on the story to this day because
This is where they make the dumplings at, either the steamed or the fried. And we're right 2 buildings down from
Ship back to the
Gilda's.
States. There's like $280 million is still missing. And he held it.
I'll let you guys read this story if you guys want. Let's try to.
So, obviously, all the people that were on that occasion on that platform, they lost everything. And the documentary is like
Can you guys read that?
shows the corruption of this young guy too, total nerd kid. But there's all these things that he's really not dead. It's sort of fascinating because
No, the budget is okay.
who knows what you could do. He's supposedly.
Actually, my budget is going to be my lowest because Fluffy is not here. She's back in the Philippines.
States was a closed casting. So there's always this theory that he's not really dead. He's just enjoying, his life with hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah.
I'm doing my visa run tomorrow, guys. I do get to sleep in an hour later, but I'm probably going to be out 2 hours longer.
Did you get your snacks before?
Nah, I'm just going to make some burger patties, some eggs.
What?
I don't.
You're gonna bring those burger patties that have nothing around it on the bus?
I'm going to put them in my little Tupperware, so I can bring a fork. Man, I'm trying. You guys, when we go out, I mess up on the carnivore, man. But I'm really trying to stay as close to I can, so I can't.
What do you get here? You get the
Dumplings, carnivore dumplings.
Yeah, it's Mark's fault. He's not thinking.
This definitely has English on the menu.
Figure it out.
Almost everything in Danong has English on the menu.
I was surprised the ATM had money. I'm shocked. I was like, oh, it's the end of the week. It's probably gonna be out.
Do you experience that a lot?
It's the end of the week.
I have it.
It's only Thursday. Maybe.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, it's Friday?
I was because my rent's due Tuesday, so I was like, oh, I better start checking if I know for sure that ATM will be empty.
They have.
over the weekend.
Where do you usually go?
I go to the because it's free.
What
TP. It's on the way to George's if you take the
and how
long
much?
route.
And how much?
5 at a time.
And does your I mean, transaction.
No, my bank is.
What is it, TP that you go to?
Yeah, TP. Maybe that's why everyone goes there. That's why it's always out.
Or ran out of
They
money?
have a branch over the bridge on either side, which always is never out. That's where all the money is.
Yeah, I go across the bridge to VP Bank every time I go
Why do you go to VP?
because I can take out 15 minutes.
VP lets you take out 15 also? Okay. So, same as HSBC. Oh, that's what we had last time. What do we? Fluffy's not in here. I think we had the milkshake. That's what we had.
Those smoothies look good.
We had the one of them last time.
Actually, I would get last time. I'm not a big fan. Really? Well, sweet mango, not the bitter. If you go to the Philippines, they have sour. You gotta really look at the sweet. Diane, like, I wonder if she likes that sour mango. The one that's pretty much white.
200% this month so far. What do you mean 200%?
Sorry, competition with each other.
Do you see Gilda's was shut?
No,
We walked by it. They must
not
have.
open yet.
They were mad that Mark didn't give them a thumbs up, so now they shut down the place for a week to redo the sauce.
And actually,
No, they don't open till 5.
I was actually going to wait until, because I'm assuming we're gonna probably go again there when we get back. Now it's gonna wait and see how the next one comes out before I actually review it. I mean, I don't think anything.
See, now you guys got me on the pizza. Now I want to find the best pizza.
No, but I guess my thing is,
I've tried 5, man. To me, that's the best.
again, I'm not hating on it. I just don't want, because clearly he listens to his guests. So therefore, I'm curious to see how the next meeting is going to be, especially if he remembers me. And it's gonna be like, oh, and they'll be like, okay, stuff like that. So I'm gonna make sure.
No, it's not like it's soft. It's like
So, I get. For me, I didn't really. I'm not gonna. So when I eat pizza, I guess my big thing about the sauce, because I'm very like I love spaghetti, right? But it's either a hit or miss for me. I hate the only thing that ever stands out to me about sauce is if it's that vegetable-y bitter sauce, or if it's the nice neutral tad sweet sauce, not Jollibee sweet, but
vegetables at all. I'm talking like.
but I eat.
The typical Italian.
I don't judge the. Maybe I'm bad on that, but I judge it by the crust. I love the crust. I love the cheese, and I love the toppings. That's what
I didn't have a problem with everything else.
That's what I love about pizza.
It's sort of like
I kind of feel like,
pasta. Anyone can make pasta.
No, man, I'm telling you.
Is the sauce?
I like spaghetti. If someone can make spaghetti good, then I love it. But I've had spaghetti where it's like a real thin, watery type of sauce. It's very vegetable-y and bitter, and I'm like, I can't eat this.
so that's what he's saying. He's saying the sauce is what ties everything together. And I guess for me, again, when I think of pizza in general, I'm just sitting here like, okay.
I like round table sauce. That's basically my go-to.
That has to be like I have to taste something. Like either it can hit me later or it can be right there up front in your face. But
Like, dude, when you brought out the oregano, like that, it went from here to me.
None of them been to Nha Trang.
yeah.
Native went to Nha Trang.
And again, it was still great. He cannot base his business upon everybody's individual preference.
Yeah.
And it was an individual preference. So I can't stab him for that. Probably so. And he's cooking for the masses. So I understand. It's kind of like going to a kitchen where you're cooking for old people. You know,
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
It's kind of like you.
I didn't think there was any difference at the
can
beach.
add
Well,
more
sand to beach,
but you can't
I didn't
take
notice
it.
any difference, but I do like their beach walk better.
If he's gonna do that, that'd be fine. Just keep a shaker on the table.
Well, in USA they kind of do that because they give you the peppers, they give you the Parmesan cheese.
The sauce, you know, like if you're heating it up, I mean, or maybe he just pointed on there and letting the
Nha Trang is not cheaper though, guys. No, I don't know where. So now if you go live where Marcus, not Marcus from Sammy, but the other Marcus, it's cheaper, but you're an hour and 20 minutes away. You're literally in another city. But if you live in the area that my video is in, which everybody wants to go to, it's not cheaper. Bonet is 70,000. Bonet is 60,000, 80,000. It's where ask Philip. Next time Philip comes in, everyone wants to live in the area that I stayed in or where Philip stayed in. Philip's able to do it cheap because of 2 reasons. Philip lives in a hotel. He doesn't rent an apartment there. So I have no disagreement that hotels are much better prices in Nha Trang. I don't disagree with that. And Philip orders everything on Grab, so he doesn't go to these little local restaurants in that area. But me and Fluffy went out, and like the cheapest dinner we would get is like 80 and 90,000. Banh mi's were 40,000. Pork chops were 45,000. It wasn't cheap. Now, if you went all the way across town, which is a 20-minute Grab ride, or an hour and 20-minute walk to where Marcus, Australian Marcus lives, then it gets cheaper. But it's cheaper for Western food, not cheaper for local food. We walk it. So compare my lifestyle to there. Why would I live in the main hub and then start taking Grab outside of the main area? It doesn't make sense. Phil doesn't go out. Man, Phil didn't even have a SIM card, so how's he going out? Phil does not go out. We've never seen Phil go to the beach. We've never seen Philip go anywhere except for the juice bar. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, this is the other one. So these sauces pair perfectly. I don't know why, but this one is for the steamed, and this is the one that I like with the fried.
And this one is for whichever one I choose.
Ask Phil. We'll ask Phil. Damn, he brought his barbecue sauce, the smuggling sauce.
I love this for my French fries.
There we go.
It's a wheel.
A wheel? A wheel of fortune? No, he doesn't. Every time we talk to Philip, he's always, oh man, I got McDonald's. I ordered McDonald's, and tomorrow I'm getting Domino's.
So just 1 minute, fries are ready.
Okay.
Okay, no worries.
And there's the steam one, guys. Steamed and the fried. And you kind of pair these like this. I'll show you guys. Let me put these sideways. There's the steam ones. You guys can try the steam ones too. But they're extremely hot. Fluffy, when she eats the steam ones with this sauce, she says, oh, it tastes just like pasta. These are my favorite, and this is my favorite sauce. Fried and this sauce. This is carnivore,
Adjacent.
he was telling us to go there because he went there once or twice, he said, but we walked by it and I didn't see where he did. But then we seen the menu online and it wasn't like, there's no food street over there. Absolutely no food street. This one, what kind of sauce is this again? What kind of mayo? Herb mayo. Herb mayo. And then this one is tomato chili.
This one is called chili and tomato. Tomato and chili. Yes.
Tomato chili.
I don't know.
Those fried ones stay hot forever. I think that's the same too. Or one's a spicy. Or maybe, I don't know what that is. Did you get something spicy?
Yes. Fries. He got fries.
Okay.
Maybe that.
This is where you guys will see me try to attempt the chopsticks. Once next week I'm not even next week. Tonight I'm back on it. What did I tell you guys? You cannot out exercise a bad diet, guys. I would try one of these, but these are extremely hot right now.
I should walk down in the morning and pretend I was going with you on the bus so I could get my breakfast.
That's funny.
I'm surprised, man. Because there's not really homeless people here, there's so many ways you can kind of, if you were a homeless person, you were able to afford a ticket, you can almost live extremely good. You can go hang out in hotel lobbies here. You can go buy your little, because at McDonald's they'll buy $1 coffee. But you can go hang out down in like the cafe and stay in an AC or a fan one. You can go hang out in hotel lobbies.
You know, park benches to like
No, you would stay in hotel lobbies for as long as you can. Clean yourself up.
the airport.
You'd go to you'd go to Lynn Visa on Tuesday.
Could I get that mail? Yeah.
You'd go to Lynn Visa on Tuesdays and Fridays to go get your breakfast.
I think they would catch on there. They'd be like, wait a minute, that guy already did a visa run last week.
I thought it was my twin brother. That's what I would say. I got a twin, but he came a week later, so we have an offsetting visa. I'll dig into one of these.
I didn't know this was an actual sauce.
What do you think? It was a little powder?
Yeah.
That's what's so different about out here is like in USA, there's no such thing as like powder on fries, but in Asia, they have like a sour cream powder, they have like a cheese powder, like
Oh, thank you.
at
You
McDonald's.
mean in the USA? You said you mean the opposite.
Yeah, USA, there's no such thing as powdered fries. Like
Yeah, there is.
where?
Anywhere you want to go that has the option of it.
Like if we go to
like
Mc,
in restaurants, they go seasoned fries and that's
maybe seasoned, but I'm talking about they have the little Kraft macaroni and cheese cheese powder, and when you order fries at Jollibee or McDonald's, they dump it on, put it in a bag, and they shake it up, and it's like that's McDonald's, like or at the little stands. Where do you see that
You're
at
talking
USA?
about that here. You're not talking about Jollibees and what you call them.
I'm talking about I've never seen any of that in USA. I never see those powders. Like you couldn't go to McDonald's and be like, hey man, give me those powder fries.
So you're talking about McDonald's here, not McDonald's somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm just talking about everywhere here. Anytime you almost get fries, there's always an option to add some kind of powder to them. Where in USA, I've never seen that. You never seen that in Asia, Patrick?
I feel like the only time you see anything.
You get them. They got the cheese powder that's like, the Kraft macaroni and cheese powder packet.
Powder packet.
Fluffy knows what I'm talking about. Because when we got that long potato, the potato on the wood that's like the spirals.
Spirits.
What they do is they put that in and then they roll that in the sauce. I don't know why you don't get notification. This is the steamed one. We came here and Dale didn't even get. Dale just got his spicy fries.
I have exactly those at home right now, waiting for me.
And seasoned and powdered are two different things. Seasoned curly fries are kind of like baked on there, whereas this powder is not put on until the fries are done. It's literally, if you guys made fries and then you opened up the open up the Kraft macaroni and cheese powder, and then you dumped it on it at the end.
I know a lot of places that do it. I mean, they usually just season it as soon as it comes out while the grease is still kind of on it, so it sticks on.
I kind of know what you're talking about, but that's just a standard thing. Whereas here, you get your fries, and they'll say, "Sir, do you want the sour cream powder? Do you want the cheese powder, or do you want the barbecue powder?" And they're all in little powders, and then they dump them.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
I want to try one of these fried ones, but I know they're still freaking piping hot.
Mine aren't, so yours should be.
Huh?
Mine aren't, so yours should be.
They're not. I'm gonna try one of these.
Yeah.
But I do like this sauce. I'll show you guys. This is my favorite sauce here. And it goes with this one. When you try to do the sauce on the different one, it doesn't go as good.
Is that one pork?
Chicken.
Both chicken?
Mm-hmm.
Fries really good, and it's good with that sauce.
I'm digging this. I don't even know what you call it. Curry sauce. I'm sorry.
I don't like wet fries. I prefer just powder.
I like this garlic mayo. This garlic mayo, or herb mayo, would be good on sandwiches. They're throttling me. The social architects. Man, don't even get me started on a rant about job titles, names. Where's the menu? I'll read you guys the story also. This is the name. Homemade Nepalese? Nepalan? I guess it would be Nepalese. We'll read the story. I'm Sam, and and let me share my story. I met Sam when we were working on a cruise ship. I'm trying to read it through the screen. Let me try to read it this way. After our first contract, we lost touch, but fate brought us together again during our second contract. So just fill in a little information. They used to work on a cruise ship, I think it was. When San disappeared after our third contract, I decided to find her in Vietnam. I left the cruise ship job. After searching, I found San in Da Nang, and I knew I wanted to spend my life with her. To support us, I started making Tibetan momos, a dish not known in Vietnam. We hope you enjoy the taste of love and stay healthy. And they have I always said I wanted to try this one. I've never tried that one yet. But I have tried the fried vegetable ones. We've never had these. I always get the fried chicken momo. And I get the Usually I try to get a steamed one. We got the steamed chicken and the fried chicken. This is the name. It's called Chow Momo.
I'm full already.
They also have other stuff. They got the fries. Dale got some kind of spicy fries. They have like some chicken skewers. They got other stuff. Do you guys open up at 11 now?
No, not yet.
4 still?
Only 4.
Okay.
Yes. Maybe like after a month.
Okay. Because I remember the last time we came, you guys said that you were going to open up at 11. Let me try another one of these.
It's very good.
Look at that, guys. I'm almost able to use my chopstick with this one. Let's see if I can get it all the way to my mouth without... I'll try it again with that mayo sauce. But I don't think it's weird.
This means
Only
I'm
certain of
done,
these sauces.
which means whoever can have it, have it.
I actually wouldn't mind this on the pizza.
Huh.
Pretty good sauce.
And they got other sauces here too. I don't know what that shit is.
Mmm.
Just trying to think these fries.
Let's go with one of these fried ones. That's the next thing you need for the kitchen, the deep fryer.
No, I'd rather use
The air fryer?
Yeah,
I think those wings came out pretty good.
I don't really. Yeah, they were.
Did they taste good?
Oh my god.
You made wings already?
Yeah. Because I went and got an air fryer.
Oh, you
But
did?
they
We went to Mega
we
Mart.
went to make a market.
yeah.
And I broke it out yesterday. It's so huge. I didn't think that thing was gonna be that big.
I'm not sure. I never worked for the government. Dale got some kind
And then
of
where'd you get?
spicy
Where'd you buy
fries.
wings at?
Mega Market.
Mega Market.
How much were those?
About, I think when I did the math, it was maybe $4 for a pack. But it was 9 wings.
2 kilos? Okay.
No, 1 kilo, which is 2 pounds.
Oh yeah, 2 pounds. 2 pounds.
But I bought 2 packs, so yes, 2 kilos. But 1 pack, 2 pounds, had about 9 wings in each one, which is 18 wings total. And I just.
And you used your
I
barbecue
got
sauce?
4 bags of wings. No,
You just ate them regular?
no, I just used
The seasoning.
Yeah, that's it.
No sauce though?
No, that's the way that it is.
I'll, even if I got good at the chopstick, I don't see the point of them. Like I like to, actually I like, the one thing I kind of went to was a spoon rather than a fork, because the spoon, there's lots of sauces out here. So I like to get your sauce up. Whereas like, if you're eating something with a sauce, there's no way you're getting the sauce with the chopsticks. Yeah, especially rice. I don't know how you guys eat. For the steamed, I kind of think this one, it's the tomato chili, goes with the steamed, and then I like the herb mayo with the fried ones. You could do any of them. They had another sauce before. I think it was like a. No, I think those are the same. But there was another
I don't
sauce.
know, I think one's spicier than the other.
Okay, that's what it was. One of these is like a spicy sauce. The other one's a tomato chili. And then they have this. So there's total 3 sauces.
I would like.
Steamed was like
Chicken fingers at bikini.
40,000 or something. 35 or 40,000 is usually what they are. And I think you get 6 pieces with them. They open up at 4. They're supposed to be starting to open up at 11, but he said probably not till next month. Oh, this is the place. They do the steamed ones there. There's the deep fryer. I love the deep fried ones. And they have I think they have chicken, they have like shrimp. They got different ones.
Damn, you like the fries.
He's gonna lick the plate too. You should,
That sauce should be on.
yeah, on Grab it's probably gonna be a little more.
something
They're
else
always
besides
extra.
fries. Like I would have that on. I'm trying to think. I'd put it over rice. I mean, I don't know. That would be really good.
That's how I feel about that wing sauce, the garlic sauce at the other wing place.
At the chicken
Oh
place.
yeah.
I love that
That's
sauce.
another place. Yeah, like I'd just eat that over rice or something.
Like, hey man, can I come pick up some sauce from you guys? And they're like, we don't make it. Like, hey, when someone orders that garlic wings, just dump their sauce into a little container for me.
I almost want to like bring a container of rice next time in the Tupperware, and then when I'm done, just pour all that juice in it.
I know I would if I wasn't trying to do the carnivore.
We need Fluffy.
She would smuggle it in.
Excuse me. Was this a curry?
No.
Is it a type of curry?
No.
What's the sauce?
This one is a mix of oil, chili, garlic, little bit of tomato, coriander. You make it. So the curry.
What makes the saucy part though?
Tomato.
Tomato. Oh, okay. There you go.
So for curry, it has to be onion based.
Okay, so that's the main base was tomato.
Yes.
That's really good. I would put that over rice and anything. It's really good. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
Huh.
shy of licking the plate.
I
mean, and
really
that-
wasn't expecting that at all.
And I'm not against it. We don't judge here. Lick that shit.
I got my Visa run tomorrow. Dale, why don't you have one of those steam ones? Try one of those steam ones.
Because I'm going to be eating steamed when I get home.
I think, no, they don't open up at 11 yet. He said maybe next month. I like how crispy these are.
This is the only way I can't make them at home.
Crispy.
Unless I go buy a ham.
You should have just brought them here and like, hey man, do you think for 20,000 you can drop them in? This is my favorite
Yeah,
sauce
we'll wait out.
and my favorite one.
Air fryer. You should buy those next time you're at Mega Mart.
I know Dale would use those.
These.
They're good. That's like one of his go-to items.
It's my go-to every time I go there. It's like, it's so good. They have pork, chicken, and a
Vegetable?
shrimp one.
No vegetable?
I rarely buy pre-made.
Oh,
I mean,
This is Vietnam.
for frozen, it's just like, I don't really. I mean, I wish one of these was pork so I can compare it.
Dale said he didn't get any dumplings here because he has dumplings thawing at home. Dale likes that sauce. He was saying that Gilda should put that on their pizza. Kids
so
out there.
Usually when I cook, I'll store it that way.
Yeah,
so I can always have a little
That's awesome.
something there. So I had raisins in there and I had the chicken noodles.
Where'd you get all those little containers?
I bought them from the States.
Oh, you brought them?
You know you can get those. Did you see the ones I have?
I bought these back from the States.
The
These
round
are,
ones?
They're 1 cup size.
I've never paid attention to ones.
I get the ones that are square, and I think they're maybe 1 cup.
Where'd you get them? Is it dollars?
10,000, sir, yeah.
Yeah.
They come, actually, because remember I tried to get one day, and they're like, oh, 30,000, and I was like, damn. I walked to the back, and then I have a pack of like 6 or 8 of them, and they're 50,000.
Oh, I need to go there.
So I was like,
need to go
damn,
back,
screw it.
actually, anyways.
But it's, I guess the other one you said
I'm about
closed
to say, I
down.
have containers. You can take them.
Oh, yeah,
It's the same ones that he got. I got mine from Latmart. Same ones. But I bought those specifically because those are the right size for me. and I can fit way more of those in the freezer than I can of the other ones because the other ones are bigger. So I can usually just like keep 2 or 3 of those, but I have, I think, 2 so, well,
How many you average
you
at
can
a time in
you
the
can
fridge?
no you can no I'm talking about the other ones that he's talking about.
Oh.
You can actually you can take 15 because I think I gave you
five is fine.
but they had 2. Never gave them back, which is fine because
Oh, yeah. I don't. You got to blame Fluffy on that one.
no, it doesn't matter. I always am like, if I cook and I give you something and I give it to you in a container, I don't care about getting it back.
I'd be the opposite. I'd be like, give me back my tin foil
But
container,
you're not
man.
going to get more food until you bring back the container. That's kind of like the way that we are.
I'd be like, hey man, give me back that aluminum
You're not going
foil.
to get more food until you bring back the container. But
Fluffy, where'd you put those containers?
no, I don't want them. I don't want them.
Fluffy probably. I wouldn't be surprised if she brought
But
it back
I
to the
bought
Philippines. Fluffy
30
probably
of
brought it
those
back to the
back for me.
Philippines.
The ones that I got from Dollar Tree, $1.25.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They got all those containers.
$1.25. I bought 30 of them back. I was like 10 for Jello, 10 for maybe some
You
gumbo,
guys and your Jello.
and 10 for
I'm trying to.
I like Jello because
You know, there's one
it's so
thing-
easy to make.
And
And then
it's a-
like when I just don't.
One dessert, even as a kid. I
The
was
only
just
thing,
like,
there's one thing that's missing though, whipped cream. I love whipped cream on my
I'll
Jello.
do it with
I don't know why, but
just Jello in general. I'm just like,
it's not bad. I made the Vietnamese Jello the other day. I should have showed you guys
give me a Jello shot.
a Jello shot.
We can do that too. We can do that too.
Native, what's up, buddy? I think Native should have done some content in Nha Trang because everyone's saying Nha Trang is cheaper and better. Maybe you guys here should go to Nha Trang. We'll send you guys down
Later on.
to live by Philip. Cantonese style is delicious and all other. Will is claiming you never go out. Oh yeah, where's Philip at? Philip. Where's Philip? I don't see Philip. Philip, where you at? Where the hell is Philip? A false alarm for Philip.
Falsifications. Yeah, I don't even know what's the difference in these sauces.
One is a spicy and one's a tomato
Right.
chili.
I didn't.
Are they the same? Trying to figure out why he was about it.
Yeah,
Because you
I
didn't-
guess this one's a little bit more.
Yeah.
Spicier.
Not that much though. Yeah, this tastes like this. That was thicker though. Oh no, sorry, that's the spicy.
That's spicy. Okay,
They're both good.
you got one more.
That's what I need to get. One of those silo cups.
Silo cups.
At the dipping
Isn't that what they're
sauce.
called back in the States?
Which ones?
Solo?
So, aren't they called silo? Maybe.
Oh, the ones
When you
that
go
you
to
keep
a
your sauce
restaurant,
in?
then they'll give you a little.
I just call those.
ketchup in it.
I don't even know what I call those.
Or
Little-
Jello shot cups.
I just call those like small containers.
I think they're-
I don't even know what the names of those are.
Yeah.
My
I definitely
brief stint as a waiter, I pretty much we called them silo cups.
The street is a little busy. There were some kids out there a minute ago.
Oh, remember the dog that was barking? The one that was up the street here, and they were communicating? He's right above here.
Maybe they're
'Cause when I
friends.
first pulled in, he was barking at me. He was right above me.
Played golf
Is
in
that your
San.
dog up here?
Yes,
That's your dog? Yeah. Were they barking at the other dog last night or the other night?
Depends.
Up and down
sometimes-
the street, they, yeah.
Yeah, but out, last time they were not outside. They always.
They bark from there though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They, next few houses have a lot of dogs. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
different. We do not keep them here much. We take them outside somewhere by scooty and then different place, then direct inside, but not here because these roads are not safe enough.
Yeah.
But drive very fast.
Yeah.
Safety.
And
Small.
Yeah,
they're a
it's
small
very
street.
Listening while working. Man, a lot of you guys use this as an audio podcast. One day I need to just get a book and just start reading and then see how many people will stay. And so many people tell me like, oh, I'm at work, man, and I just put my phone down and I listen. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I don't know if you guys want to go, but I think I'm gonna get me a watermelon juice.
That place over here?
No, we gotta go all the way back down there.
Oh,
But
those
you-
3
you-
blocks.
Can you tell how
Well,
I'm
you
feeling
like that
about
cheese
it
place
already?
by the on Coconut Street. Remember, there's that up from Coconut on
Oh
that same
yeah,
street.
yeah.
That juice place that you said is like super.
I consider that more like a little soda place,
I'm like, that place is far away.
cheap soda place.
I'm like,
I'm gonna go to the little Caramel Blend Cafe.
Yeah, I guess. Close.
yeah, I'm
Well,
I'm already really enjoying it.
7 minutes probably. Because right there is the 24-hour cafe. The church is right there. It's just 2 blocks. I'll get a watermelon juice before my Visa run, and then I will finish
You have a
charging up my
microwave?
stuff. Damn, you don't have a microwave?
Even if I did,
I mean,
you
I
know
didn't
what?
have
I don't
one
use
either.
them. I never used them. Even back in the States, I never. I don't know. I always had a thing with. I don't know. I would always reheat shit on the stove. Yep. I had a thing with.
I like the microwave to
I
warm
heard
things
it takes out
up.
all the nutrients.
I'm sure it does. That's why I don't ever
radiated
cook
food.
anything in the microwave. But like if I had like leftover pizza or something, I would toss it in there.
Okay.
Or if I had like one of the baked goods from Mega Market and it was in the refrigerator, I would pop it in there for a few seconds so it's not cold. That's how I use the microwave. But I'm not making a Swanson's TV dinner in it. Salisbury
Are they
steak.
still around?
I'm sure they are.
Are Swanson's still around?
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
I think that was the
They
first
was a lot
TV
of
dinner I ever
broth.
had in the 70s.
That was my
And it came
when I
with,
was
like,
young,
the
man.
old
I loved
school tin
those.
trays.
I didn't have the tin trays. We always had the little black plastic ones. And it would have Salisbury
Before
steak,
plastic was a-
the mashed potatoes, the corn, and then I love that little cherry part.
Oh.
It was like the cherry on the top, and it had like the little crumbles at the
They
bottom.
had like
The brownie.
Brownie.
The brownie was the banquet one, I think.
Yeah, banquet.
I like Swanson because Swanson had the cherries on top, and it had like that little crumble cake at the bottom. But you know what I would
Probably
hate?
2000
I would hate
grams,
when it
so-
was like maybe they flipped the box over and then like your corn would be halfway in the mashed potatoes and then like the corn would be mixed in with the freaking dessert. And you're like, what the hell, man? Like, what the hell is this crap? I remember those in probably like the early 90s ish. That's when we would have them. Oh, you know which ones were? No, the rich ones. I'll tell you guys exactly which one the rich ones were. No, the rich ones. When I say this, you guys will all remember, but I know no one's gonna say it. The Hungry Man. Those were the rich
You thought
ones.
those were rich?
Yeah, man, those were the big ones. I was like, you would get like 4 slices of turkey, or it would say like
But it was still
half
like
pound.
cheap slop, wasn't it?
But out of the TV
Price-wise?
dinners, that's what it was. Like that was the super sized candy bar of the TV dinner. And I seen another one. I seen a commercial last night. I never had it, and it barely tweaked my mind. I'll show you guys this commercial. I never had it. I'm sure our family would have never spent the money on it. But when I show you guys this was like the lifestyles of the rich and famous ice cream. When I show you guys this, we'll see how many people will remember this. You guys know what I'm talking about, though? The rich people ice cream. Here it goes. Here it goes, guys. Look at this. Tell me if you guys remember this.
Breyers has created a spectacular ice cream dessert
Viennetta.
called Viennetta. But
You remember that? I barely remember that, but I must
I saw
have.
that recently too.
With its irresistible crisp
It was like the
chocolate
cake
layers.
loaf, or the ice cream loaf.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
look at they even do it up. They put it in
Breyers
glass.
has created a spectacular ice cream dessert called
But like, if you had that, you would definitely be rich back in our
But
days for
despite
sure.
its delicious premium ice
Viennetta. Man, it's so crazy. Like when we grew up, at least for me, I remember like stuff now would be like that stuff was probably like $6 back then, probably. But that kind of stuff would be like your parents would never dream of buying that. They'd be like, "Are you crazy?" Remember they would say this: "We have Viennetta at home." We have this at home, like,
Right.
and you're like, no, man, we got this crap.
Can we go to McDonald's on the way home?
We can't go nowhere you can't
Afford?
No. We can't go nowhere you can't spell.
Ah.
Spell McDonald's. Like, what can we go to KFC?
The other one was like, man, like I don't know if it was just us, but I know it was all the kids that I grew up around. Like little stuff that like we can go buy at the dollar store now was considered like, man, if your parents bought it for you, you'd be like, oh my God, like it's Christmas. Like Gushers, fruit snacks, fruit roll-ups, like stuff like that, man. You'd be like, oh, I remember when I was like in elementary school, man, if your parents brought you lunch from somewhere, like they were talking about you at school. Like you're like, oh, my parents just brought me McDonald's, and they call you over the speaker, like, come down to the office, come down, and then you go over there and you smell the food, and you're like, why the hell are my parents showing up? Like you'd get 1 or 2 of those a year, and then you'd walk back to the cafeteria and you had the bag, and then everyone would be like, hey man, let me get a fry. And you're like, let me get a fry, and I'm like, man, I don't got fries for everybody. If I give everyone one, I won't have any.
I used to steal from my cat.
Damn. Most of the people.
It was easy. They had no organization. It was just go to the food counter, grab and pick whatever you're gonna go.
Ours was
and then go to
definitely
this table. It was a small Catholic school. And then go to this table where there was 2 cashiers. There was no
you guys had
line,
to pay.
no ropes. So it'd be so crazy because the kids, you know how kids are. You bum rush. And one day I just was like so brazen. I was just like, I grabbed the sandwich, and I was like looking, and I was like,
They didn't see you?
no, I'd be like, who would even know right now if I just walked straight to the table? And I did. And it became a habit.
And it was a peanut butter and jelly. That's how you got hooked on them.
It was like a chicken cheese sandwich.
Damn, you guys. So in our place, we had
It was so easy.
the little tin foil thing with the aluminum foil, and you would open it up and it'd be like nasty spaghetti, and it'd be like
Public school?
public school. Of course, man. Like, what do you think? I'm gonna go to private
Yeah, I
school?
went to private dance. It was
Um,
only $100. I remember it was $90 a month because I would always have to pay. It was
Ah.
cheap back.
I think we made too much to get free lunch, but not enough to like afford anything good for lunch. So
Yeah,
it was
we
like
had to pay for our lunch.
$1.30.
That's the other thing. I used to pocket my own man would only give me $2. So at the end of the week, I would have $10.
School food was the best, man.
And
Our
that's why we
food was
used to go to
terrible.
movies on the weekend and stuff. We got $10.
Our food was terrible. Yours was good. Your elementary school food?
I don't really remember elementary school.
Ours was terrible, man.
I just remember 1 day, well, 2 days in elementary school. One is when the teacher tried to. It felt like it was like a show and tell, but they tried sharing avocado with us in 3rd grade. I remember. Tried it, didn't like it, so I knew I wouldn't like avocado. And then one day where we had like a party or whatever, I don't know if it was a Christmas party or whatever. I remember my mom's aunt, my great aunt, came over to the house, bought me a bag of vanilla wafers, the Captain's vanilla wafers or whatever, in a
Captain.
clear bag. Bought 2 bags of those and then dropped me off at school, and I used that. Those are the only 2 days I remember of
The vanilla wafers.
elementary school.
I remember the only good thing at the elementary school food was, man, I assumed everyone got, like, I was a kid, but remember we would get them in the rectangle tin little pans or whatever you want to call them, and there'd be aluminum foil. The only thing that was halfway decent was the pizza, and it was that square pizza. It was a little doughy, but they had bean burritos that were terrible. They had burger patties that was like
bean
great.
burritos in elementary school.
Bean and cheese burritos, yeah.
Bean and cheese burritos in elementary.
And they were they were worse than the 7-Eleven.
That's
Imagine
California.
the 7-Eleven burritos, like the Red Hots, but even worse than that. Spaghetti was terrible. I think there was like one, and now they had chicken nuggets, but the chicken nuggets, like they'd be breaded, but the chicken nuggets would be like, they were in the aluminum foil, so like it defeated the whole point of them being crispy because like it just soaked in water from the condensation. But our food was terrible, man.
No.
Dale had freaking cordon bleu sandwiches and Viennetta ice
I
cream.
mean, it wasn't that great, but it was.
That's why I'm always shocked when you guys say like our food was good, and I was like, Jesus Christ. The best thing, or you know what else? What everybody? I'm assuming you guys had this. Was those nice big homemade chocolate chip cookies, and you'd buy those. You guys didn't have those?
I mean,
No.
I had
Damn.
chocolate chip cookies.
And you're still on elementary school?
That. I'm trying to think.
I'm like,
It might have been
I don't
junior
know.
high. That
But still,
one.
we didn't have
But we
that.
had those
We
big
didn't have
chocolate chip
anything that we
cookies
could
in cling wrap.
purchase.
Junior high.
No.
No. That's
Nothing
when
in
that's
school
when
that
food
you
got
could
okay
purchase.
because we had Round Table pizza. Like Round Table would bring their
The only thing
individual
the only
pizzas.
thing
You could buy them.
purchase was like a slush.
What kind of school did you go to?
Public school.
Public?
But we had nothing that you can purchase. Like they
What?
weren't making money off of lunch.
That's crazy. And we're the same age. That's crazy. Like, and so even when you went to junior high, they still
or
had.
maybe I just don't remember because I mean my senior year I was out before lunch, so I didn't even have to eat lunch. I could go home.
We had homemade cooked lunches every day when I was in school.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it was.
American schools should try making food from scratch.
And that's
it
what they
wouldn't
did.
be.
They
It
made
wouldn't
food
be.
from scratch.
It wouldn't make the schools money, man. Schools are profit.
Our school made their stuff from scratch.
That's crazy. No, our stuff was brought
And that's
in.
what I remember about middle school, like junior high school. Like they made, I mean,
Ours was prison style. Ours
oh,
was
no.
prison style.
No,
That's what
yeah,
we
it wasn't
got.
like that. I mean,
You would see the truck pulling up, and then they'd be pulling out trays and trays. Like they made it somewhere else.
That I ate at school that I never ate at home was the parsley rice.
Parsley rice.
I made it myself,
Oh.
but it's like parsley rice and the pizzas, the pizzas that they made, and it's a specific way to make them.
Mm.
And they would make like big trays of them, cut them up, and that's how we are pizza.
It wasn't frozen.
No,
That's crazy. Yeah, for us at junior high, then you could start buying certain stuff. Like they would have like I don't know, like little not Subway the company, but like a Subway sandwich, like the footlongs. They would have those, and Round Table must have had like some contract with us.
That
would sell
stuff
us
wasn't inside the cafeteria.
Oh,
But
no,
they,
that
I mean,
stuff
they
was
had
in-
like, you know, when you sell things, concessions for lunch or for recess or whatever, they had those places that you can go and get stuff from, like maybe nachos or something like that, but you wouldn't get them in the
nachos. That
cafeteria.
was another thing. I
But
forgot we had
cafeteria,
nachos.
you
too.
got the food.
Cafeteria, they had a little wall, and then there would be a person behind it, and they'd say, "Oh, let me get a pepperoni pizza." You'd get that, but then the rest of it, like there was the other line inside a big room, and that was the cafeteria. But they had two little windows, and you could buy like a homemade cookie, you could buy like a Round Table pizza, and like
See, for us,
sandwich
they
for
gave us,
free
they gave
things.
you either, I mean, depending on what time the school year it was, but you would have either one lunch or you would have, you can pick between two things. You can either get like baked chicken or you can get stew, like one of the two. But those were options,
That's
but
crazy.
that wasn't.
You guys
You
had like
didn't pick.
real options. Ours was like
Yeah.
spaghetti and some kind of mystery sauce.
I mean,
like
they had that too. Don't get me wrong, but I was just using it as an example.
porn.
Did both you guys have those days where it was just like there was
Something very simple.
like every Monday was this, every
No,
Tuesday
our-
was this.
we would get a little
Yeah, we had
menu, and it would show like
And-
Mondays.
Yeah, actually,
Oh,
it was in the
your Monday was
calendar.
always different.
Yeah.
Like you mix it up.
Yeah.
Ah,
It was
We
never
have
like a
calendar.
same day.
Then we actually had cooks that were there, like actual cooks that were there. So
Oh well.
you didn't just have somebody that was just heating something
Yeah,
up.
I know,
No,
yeah.
they actually, I mean, because it was cheaper for the schools to do it that way.
Yeah, our stuff was basically like. I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped off the food at Vacaville State Prison and then dropped off ours on the way back down. But it was like the pizza was edible, but that's how bad the food was because people would actually get happy when they had the pizza. But then now when I look back, it would have been like a Totino's microwave pizza, and like you literally cooked it in the microwave. That would be how the pizza was. It was like that.
I remember we had like small, like individual, like deep dish pizzas or whatever sometimes.
Deep dish?
Yeah, like the small, like you can get them from Walmart or whatever, you know. Just, but they were just the small pizza, but they were like the. It's called deep dish, right? That's
Probably, yeah.
It's a specific name. I think it's called.
Yeah, I wonder. I would love to look and see like where our food came from. But yeah, they didn't have nothing exotic. Like our food was bad. But then everyone loved when they went to junior high because you could get a round table, individual, like
That was the first
Oh,
pizza
I'm
joint I did
thinking
when
of,
I went to LA.
they had. I love round table is
Dude,
the
I
best
was-
chain. It's the best chain,
It was-
but
I was-
it's freaking
Is
outrageous.
it Baron?
It's expensive now.
Man,
It was
when I was a
expensive
kid, it
then,
was like
yeah.
20
Red
bucks.
Baron. Red Baron.
Red Baron. Oh, Red
So
Baron.
it kind of looked like those
That,
type of
okay.
pizzas, but they were just deep dish, like individual
Yeah.
sizes. They didn't have it all the time. Like there wasn't always an option. But
Yeah,
you
our
know,
food was
that
terrible,
shit
man. It was terrible. And then like you could bring your food, but I wish I knew how to cook back then because I actually would have started cooking. Because I would get like, damn, I wish I could remember the name, but some of you guys will remember this. You would get that 49-cent lunch meat, probably
Oscar
Philip.
Mayer bologna.
I don't even think it was Oscar Mayer. I don't think it was like the Safeway brand. And it would be like paper thin, square lunch meat. I'd get a couple pieces of that with like some Kraft bread on white bread, Kraft sliced
I was
cheese,
about to say Kraft bread.
Kraft cheese.
Wonder bread. Remember Wonder bread?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
God,
and they'd give me like
that's
an apple,
But I
and they'd give me
I
like
think
a
artisan.
Ziploc thing of maybe some nacho
they
or
make
Dorito
artisan
chips.
now?
No, I'm saying that's the kind of bread
Oh,
that I
no.
eat. Artesian.
Did any of you guys go to
Potato
kindergarten?
bread.
That's crazy. Have what?
Kindergarten?
I
Before
did.
first grade?
Yeah. I got
Okay,
suspended.
now those-
I got suspended in kindergarten.
What? I don't know how you do that.
I guess I barely remember, but I guess me and a kindergarten friend got caught looking up a girl's dress
So it's Sarah
in
Leo.
kindergarten. So I guess we got suspended. I barely remember it.
Nowadays you go to jail.
Yeah, let me take that 5-year-old kid to jail.
This is
Try him as an
like
adult.
the
Yeah,
best
yeah,
bread.
yeah.
Give him the
Sarah,
death
That's-
penalty.
That's like the
Sarah Lee,
best bread for sandwich.
I'm a bread snob now. So I used to get like all
My
that
mom
stuff.
was the worst sandwich maker.
I bring this
Kindergarten.
home.
I can only eat. I'm so spoiled. I guess maybe not here, but I would only once I started like going to my grandma's house more. I started getting all those nice breads. I love these breads, and people give me a bad time because like you like old people bread, but I would get like the 7 oat bread or like the any breads that had like oats or like grains in them. I love those breads, man. Like Philip's always like, oh, I love white bread. I'm like, white bread, man. You take a bite of that, it sticks to your roof. Like, you crush that bread and like it just disappears. I can't eat white bread.
Yeah, I remember going
I
to
can't
my-
eat white bread.
Neighbor's house, and his mom would always make us white bread with peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, my God.
And the peanut butter and that
It's
white
like a-
bread, immediate stick to the roof of your.
It'd be there for like 30 minutes. And then you gotta wash it down, and it was like
Sit there forever trying. She always.
2
made
months
us-
later, you're still like, man, why do I taste peanut butter? I'll show you guys the bread that I like. But man, my grandma used to make some really good sandwiches, and that's where I learned like because like, my grandma used to make the best grilled cheese sandwiches. But this was like mind blowing to me because I would get like Kraft singles on white bread grilled cheese. Then I went to my grandma's house and I would get like what's the name? I know there's got to be a name. It's called like 7 oat bread, and there's like a big company that does it. It's all brown bread, and it comes with oats, and it's a very popular brand.
I can see
Nature's
it. I
Own?
just don't remember.
And the bread's very heavy too. But she would cook that, and then we would have. I never heard of this bread or this cheese. What's that? Tillamook.
Yeah.
She would have that cheese, and I'd look and I was like, why is the cheese like white and yellow? And she would cut a chunk out, and then she would put butter in the pan, and then she seen something that blew my mind. I was like, what are you doing? She put mayo on the bread, and I was like, what is that?
Yeah,
Like you're supposed to
seasons
put
with
butter. And she would cook that, and then she would cut them in triangles. That's why I've been always addicted to triangles. But then I would get a grilled cheese, and you take a bite, and the cheese would be like way out here because it was that thick Tillamook cheese on some brown bread. And ever since then, I was like, I'd go back home and I'm like, you're trying to give me that freaking peasant bread with a slice of Kraft cheese? Like, ever since then, I could never eat white bread again. What's up, Matt? Yeah, but man, I miss those grilled cheese sandwiches. My grandma would give me those, and just think like, if you, like, this is how, like, not only was I'm not gonna say my family was poor. They were above poor and probably below middle class, but they had the worst combination. Not only do we not have that much money, but they were terrible cooks.
So it's like a double whammy because like you'll hear people and they'll be like, we were so poor, but my mom was such a good cook. My dad was such a good. I was like the double worst. Like we weren't poor enough to be poor, but then like the food was terrible. So it was like a double whammy. But then like when I went there, I was like coming back home and I'd be like, oh great, here we go, peanut butter on Wonder Bread. But it would be crazy. Like I remember we used to get excited. Like if we would get like Pop-Tarts. Oh, like we wouldn't even dream about having
About
toaster
Pop-Tarts
strudels.
with the rounded edges.
The toaster strudels?
No.
I don't know them.
Pop Tarts that that was like the first Pop Tarts.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
all the Pop Tarts come flat with the flat edges, the square edges.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I
But they
remember
used
those.
to have those taste the best.
And then I would hate, my parents would go get Pop-Tarts every blue moon, right? But then they would do the worst thing. They would get like the plain ones. And it's like the plain ones were the same that have the frosting.
Plain.
Like, you know how the top has like a little frosting or whatever? My parents would get the Pop-Tarts like once
They came like
3
that? I
times a
didn't know
year.
that.
And they would literally get the ones that don't have any frosting at the top. And I'd be like,
Oh.
they're not even more, it wasn't even about price, they're the same price. And I was like, why would you get these? But
But still had something in the middle.
yeah, just have something in the middle, but nothing outside. But then, like, we wouldn't even dream about asking our parents, like, do you think you can get us toaster strudels? Like, toaster strudels were like
I
the
remember when
premium
those came
ones.
on the scene. When those came on the scene, I was
Like, you
hooked.
guys don't remember, man, like, back in the 80s and 90s, like, some stuff was only available for certain people. Like, if you were just middle class or lower, like, you didn't even think about asking your parents for this kind of stuff. Man, a Happy Meal was a luxury back then. Yeah, man, it was crazy. But that's the days where we would drink out of water hoses. And you always had the idiot friend. You can just I look back now and I realize this friend wasn't poor. They must have been, their parents must have money, because the first idiot on summer would go turn on the hose. We'd be like, hey, get it out of the hose. And they'd put their mouth up there at the very beginning and they'd get all that hot water. Or the ones that had the dirt, because you would drop the hose. So there'd be the dirt that's kind of stuck in there and then it'd be hot. So that idiot that is not a pro at drinking out of the garden hose would put his mouth there and that hot water from the sun baking on it would be in there. You'd be like, idiot, you gotta let it run for like 30 seconds. But we'd go out all day. Like summertime, we had to have 3 months off. Like at the beginning of the day, we'd probably go play like wiffle ball, or we'd go play
Bro,
baseball.
You would be going for 12 hours at a time.
We would do-
like from
12
day
is like
up
minimum.
until
Yeah.
right before. I mean, if you had to be in before the lights came on.
Dude.
We had to be in before the street lights came on.
We sometimes did, but then we would either come back and check in, or we would call from a friend's house and be like, hey, can we stay out longer? I'm going to spend the night over here. But we would do something like, we'd go play wiffle ball at the beginning of the day, and then like we would get tired, and I think we'd be like, we'd get called in for lunch, you'd go eat your Kraft macaroni and cheese, or you would eat like that thin lunch meat that I was talking about on white bread. And then you'd probably be like, oh man, it's time to go play football, let's go play football. Or you'd go get on your bike and you go ride your bike across the freaking. This is back in times where we didn't have a cell phone. You just go ride your bike like as far as you can.
And you didn't know. I mean, you were miles away. How many
Oh, yeah.
streets?
There was no
and
Google
how many
Maps or nothing like
streets
that.
You crossed and how many neighborhoods you done went
Oh, yeah.
into. I mean, yeah.
Our entertainment was doorbell
Us.
ditch. We
Oh,
would do
wow.
doorbell ditch. Another big thing that kind of just faded away. We'd go to like, you would always have one friend that their parents were kind of cool, like that would like let you stay up late if you spend the night, or wouldn't care if you would call people. We used to call people and prank phone calls back in those days. That was like our social media. Call up like 7-Eleven and prank them. Then we got a little bit older, I think like 14 years old, and we kind of gamed the system. We had a library near us, and like if you read like 10 books or 20 books like during that summer, you'd write down the name and you'd have to have like a little review, like a paragraph about it. You'd turn those in and you get free A's tickets, baseball tickets to go to an A's game. So like every week we would go down there and we'd have, yeah, I read The Call of Nature, I read this one, I read this one. Like I don't think I've ever read a book in my whole life from front to beginning. And we'd go there and like the same librarian would be like, wow, you guys have read 247 books in the past week. We're like, yeah, we're on summer vacation. We're just reading books every day and night. Like, And then she'd like ask us a question. We're like, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom. But we got our free tickets that way. Yeah, we had all kinds of fun, man. But we didn't really look at it as like being poor or like doing anything crazy. It was just like, that was life. That's how you just thought you were gonna be till you were 50 years old. You thought you were gonna go down there, like, go to the convenience store, and you'd be lucky if your parents gave you the change. And change, I'm talking about coins, not like bills. They'd give you like $5. But like, actually back then, you could go buy your parents cigarettes still. So they'd give us a note. Especially if you had a little liquor store.
I'd buy him cigarettes.
We had a liquor store that was a few blocks away, and it'd be like, this is, like my stepmom would put it, this is my son, he's doing this, we gave you the money, here it is. And like, you'd go show 5 Point Liquors, that was the liquor store that we had. And then we'd do that, and then you'd be lucky because like, you get like 55 cents back in change. And like, your parents, since you walked down there on a 100-degree day, they'd be like, oh, you can keep the
55
change.
cents would go so far.
You'd go get like the 5-cent
far.
gum, you'd get like,
Penny candies.
we never had the penny candies, but we would have like
We
a
had
candy
this
bar
one
would be
store
like
called
40 cents or
Field
25 cents.
Dude, we had I'm in the 70s, but man, we used to have a
70.
plethora of the very bottom would be all pennies,
Everything for us was 5 cents at minimum.
and then above it would be like the 5 and 10 cents. Man, we used to disgusting how much sugar we probably.
Oh, you know what else was big? What we'd get back then? Like, this is probably outlawed. I'm pretty sure it's outlawed. But we would go there to the liquor store. Every single liquor store would have the big glass container, and you'd lift off the top, and
Not
there'd be
the
dill
eggs.
pickles in them. Dill
Oh, the
pickles.
pickles.
And then they would put them in a plastic. I can't believe. If you guys came
you know
from a
what?
cheap, poor neighborhood,
But they
you would
wouldn't
always
let,
have
but
it.
they would do it themselves. They
Ours had that little tong,
Oh, yeah,
and
no.
you do that. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
they
It'd be
never let us do
now. I see those pickles, but they come like in that sealed.
Yeah.
It's called like Mr. Pickles or something. But ours would be, you'd go get some little 6-year-old grubby hands out playing, and then reach in there. Pack of Kool-Aid. I drank so much Kool-Aid back then, man. Like, I literally thought Kool-Aid was juice. That's how much freaking Kool-Aid we had. And I remember, I hated when people put too much sugar, but I hated when people put too little. Like, for me, it was two liters, I guess, of water in the pitcher and 1 cup of sugar. But I'd go over to some people's house, and like, their parents would give you like a 1/4 cup of sugar. You're like, what the hell is this crap? But then you go to some of the other people's house, and then have like 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of water. And you'd be like, is this Kool-Aid or is this strawberry syrup? You're like, what the hell is this crap? And that's back when people had, they'd reuse, these are the cups that I grew up with. I'll tell you guys about the cups. They had like Smucker's jelly, and they'd come in like glass containers. The glass containers would have that, and people would wash those out, and you would, like, when the little kids come over, you'd get, or put the grease, and we would drink out of like those glass jelly jars. Oh yeah, man, when I look back, man, we came up pretty crazy. The jelly cups. I grew up on Kool-Aid. I haven't had Kool-Aid in probably years, but I probably drank.
That's probably why you sweeten your water. It's because you drank that so much.
Maybe.
You're used to always having a sweet
Probably.
liquid.
That was juice to me, though. I thought that was juice back then. I was like, oh, yeah, this is as good as orange juice.
See, I think it was the complete opposite. My parents would let us use anything sweet.
We had some
It was
kids
either
like
milk
you.
or water.
We always used to tease those kids like you. They'd be like, yeah, we can't eat peanut butter. My dad says it's made non-GMO. Like, GMO wasn't even a thing back then.
That's why I loved going over to a friend's house or something. It's because, they got the Kool-Aids and the sweet teas and all that.
I had a vegetarian friend. His family was vegetarian, so every time he would come over to our house, like, he would love it. Like, my dad was a good person that barbecued, and my friend, I don't know where he's
Vegetarian
at.
at that time.
Yeah, man, she was
I
crazy.
guess it was becoming a thing in the
Mid,
80s. This is the
early
80s,
90s,
right?
early 90s. And this is the word, I'll tell you guys this other story after this, but she was like very ahead of her time. Like, she did like meditation and like all this other stuff.
She was a
Right?
granola mom.
Granola. But he would love it because like he'd tell his mom, like, he wouldn't say, oh, I'm going over to his house for the barbecue. They'd say, we're just gonna go play games. He'd come over to our barbecue and like his mouth would be drooling. Like, my dad would have ribs and chicken, and he'd just like eating all that up. But then I spent the night probably more at his house than he spent the night at my house. But the worst would be breakfast, man. Like in the morning, she'd make buckwheat pancakes, which were terrible. And then she's like, "Oh, you got to try the bacon." I'm like, "You guys don't eat bacon?" She's like, "No, it's special bacon." And my friend, like your friends always kind of want to go and kind of be like, it's good. And, like they're always trying to rationalize it. This bacon was like as flat as cardboard, tasted like cardboard, and it was like some kind of first version trial error of vegan bacon or whatever. That thing was disgusting. I couldn't even wash it down with the buckwheat pancakes, and then it was like all natural syrup, and I was like, it was terrible, man. It was terrible. The breakfast I would just usually say, "Hey, man, I'm going home." I'd wake up at 8 o'clock, play some video games, and like, no, actually I'm full from last night. But like, man, my child was pretty crazy. We didn't really get into too much trouble. We got caught a few times, doorbell ditching places. I'll tell you guys, one time this is my first police run-in. The friend that I was talking about lived here, and we lived right across the street he lived across the street from a church, and I lived directly across. One day, we were like 13, I don't even think 14, we were 12 or 13, and we loved plums. All the places had like plum trees or kumquats. We had kumquats there, we had plum trees, right? So one day, I don't know, we were just bad. We were like going around breaking things, like there'd be like abandoned little stuff in our neighborhood. We just like go break it or whatever. Like, I don't know why we got into it, but we loved playing sports. So we were like throwing berries at each other, right? And we got this great idea. The church across the street, they were just painting the church, right? So the guys are up on ladders painting it, and like, we don't know schedules back then. We thought they were going home, but apparently they were going to lunch. It was like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. So like, "Hey man, let's see if we can hit the church." So we hit the church, right? And then it turned into like, let's keep doing it. So for like 20 minutes, we were throwing it. We threw it at not only the church, but it was literally getting painted. So then we thought the guys were gonna leave. We see the truck pulling back up again, and then we run into the house, right? So we think, back when you're that age, if you run into the house, you feel like if you get away and you're not in public, you get away with everything. So we went in the house apparently, and then all of a sudden, like 10 minutes later, we get a knock on the door. And we're like, how the hell? And then like we hide, and then the mom's in the back. She finally comes out. I think she was taking a nap. And they're like, "Yeah, we seen someone reported that your kids were throwing plums." And we go and look outside. It was all painted white. It's not even dry yet. And there was just plums everywhere. So then we ended up getting on restriction. That was like your punishment back then. I think I was on restriction for like 2 weeks for that. But that was my first police running, because they had the cops come out, and then we thought we were going to jail, but we got on restriction. It was summertime too. Like, you guys don't understand. You look all year to being on
Y'all didn't
vacation.
have like summer recreation?
We were poor, man. Like, my parents were never going to pay for nothing.
No, I don't think we never had to pay for summer.
Ours was riding our bikes, playing wiffle ball out in the street, playing football in the street. We played on the street, and when cars would come, we would stop. Nah, man, that was way too much. We lived in a terrible city. Like, to us, if we would have went to the movies, we snuck into a few movies. I remember movies were like $5 back then, and we'd go like in the daytime, and then we'd sneak into the other one. But man, we came up pretty crazy.
Summer recreation was kind of like
Those guys were like rich people to us.
What, people who went summer recreation?
Anyone that got anything
never-
paid for, anything that was paid, like,
I mean, we definitely had no. See, we were on government aid. We definitely were.
our
not
parents just,
nowhere near.
there was no
We
such
had
thing as
food
buying us
stamps,
stuff.
but we didn't buy that. That was.
And
something
our city,
Yeah, some parks had like, wasn't it through like the park system?
I mean, that was kind of
maybe
like,
California is different,
that was
man.
kind of like a way to.
Please
for
remember to
people
take a
make
rest. I
money
did
during
have my
summer.
drink.
But yeah, it was just. I mean, it was pretty much like.
But we did play with fire hydrants. We cracked open a few fire hydrants. You guys never did that? We did. And we partied all freaking day. It was so hot. I remember we did that. Playing with fire hydrant, we did that. I grew up in a city called
What about
Vallejo,
popping
California.
Christmas lights?
Close to Oakland and close
When
to San
Christmas lights
Francisco.
first came out, there was only the big fat balls.
Yeah, no, we never did that.
You could unscrew it, And the whole stranger
So-
would go out.
Here's what's
Just
messed
that
up.
big.
We weren't
You chuck them up in the air. and then when
physically
you
as
come back,
poor as we got treated, I guess you would
Pop
say.
sound.
Like I said, our parents weren't poor, but they weren't middle class. Whatever you consider in between poor and middle class. But our parents just
I don't know why. I really
I don't
like
even
the
wanna make
sound
it sound
of
like our
just
parents,
go around people's houses.
neglect us. Our parents just didn't even. That the thought didn't cross their mind that like, hey, we should spend money on our kids. Like, for them, it was just like not even a thought. Like, no, they'll go outside. They can go play tennis, baseball with the tennis ball. They can throw the football around. They can go turn on the sprinkler. We made homemade slip and slides. We had a big tarp and we had a big yard. We would turn that on and go. That was our slip and slide. Like I said, our parents wouldn't buy us nothing. So we could not go to our parents and be like, hey, do you think we can go to Kmart and go buy a slip and slide? They'd be like, we got a damn tarp out in the back. Let's load that out there and put some dish soap on it. And then we go slide. That's but man, like we wouldn't even
Sounds like a
ask.
Jeff Foxworthy comical moment. You know, when he goes, you know you're what is it?
Yeah, we would be like the rich poor or the extremely poor middle class. That's probably what you would class. We were the rich poor
Alright, that's what it is. You
or
know
the
you're a
lower
redneck
class
when
middle
you're
class. That's probably what you would call
pulling
us.
out your tarp and throwing water on it and using that.
Oh yeah, we got hurt a bunch of times on the slip and slide. Like some people that never did it, like we would soak the soap. And our slip and slide was probably, I'm not even joking, our slip and slide was huge. It was probably like the width of this room and then probably out to that, probably out to that bench. And like some people wouldn't, like you got to slide.
That big. And for what was it?
I think, I don't remember, it was for something, I don't remember, like for a car or something like that.
Oh, y'all had a car?
Not our car, but,
This is not like a oh, who's poor? Like,
oh yeah. No, we had a
y'all
car. I'll tell you about the cars that we had too. But some people would be stupid. I guess they didn't know how to do a slip and slide, and they would try to run across the whole thing. And you're like, dude, you hit the front, and you either go feet first or you go head first. These people try to run, and they would go as soon as they hit that dish soap, because dish soap is slippery, man. And they'd smack their head. Like people would sprain their ankles, man. And back then, like we never went to the hospital. Like if you sprained your ankle, your parents would be like, wipe some dirt on it. Get up. Stop crying. I'll give you something to cry about. Like, we grew up in a whole different time. My brother is 6 years younger than me, so he got a little bit of that, but just kind of the tail end. But I enjoyed those days. I don't make it sound like it was bad, but when I look now, like I see like kids don't go outside. They're just like, oh. Here's what's shocking to me. I didn't get my first cell phone until I was like 17, maybe 18. I was either 17 or 18. I see kids that I can't even speak, and they have their own cell phone.
I was
16,
26.
17. But I was 16 or 17.
Dale said he was 36.
But I paid for my own cell phone. I mean, my mom paid for that. So when I got my first job, then
My cell phone was the one that you got from 7-Eleven. It was prepaid minutes.
I had a Nokia.
You buy the card.
I remember a Nokia.
Mine wasn't even that. Mine was the one like this, and it had where you talk, it had the little flip part. You'd
Mine
flip it
had a
up.
mine was flat face.
We had that, and I had like 50 minutes, and you'd go to 7-Eleven, you'd buy like a prepaid, like a calling card.
But you been calling nobody.
Track
till
phone. I think it was a
after-
track phone.
Till after 9.
My very
I was
first
still
phone was like a
using
Nokia.
Until 90.
I had a pager too.
We
when I
didn't
first-
have a computer till 1998, and I think 1998 or 1999 is when I got a cell phone.
That's probably right when I got mine.
I had a few pagers. I did have them, but I never had a cell phone. I didn't get a cell phone until I was about 17.
But she got it from like out of one of those buy now, pay later type.
I now buy pay later.
I can't remember the name of the like Finger Hut. You know, you remember Finger Hut. Or she had the little phone that would light up. It had like little, like it was like kind of clear plastic, and
With the
it had,
cord?
like a little light behind it. Of course, it was
Oh,
a
yeah.
corded home phone. And when the phone would ring, it would light up a certain
Yeah.
color, whatever called a lava lamp.
The jail style phones. That's how. Because now, if you go watch jail, all their TVs or their phone, like not the phones because they don't have a phone there, but if you have a TV, it has to be clear so that they can't stash contraband. But man, we considered it rich that if you had a cordless phone back in your days,
Oh, yeah.
man, that was like I remember
we had to get the ones with the long.
Oh, yeah, you
so
get
you
the
can
cords.
walk around and do things with. But
Oh, yeah.
it was corded.
We had the ones that were kind of like this, and they were kind of like rounded a little. We had that one. I remember the phones when I went to my grandma's house. We had the ones where you put your finger in the hole,
Turn it. Yeah.
and then the worst would be like 5,
Or the
5,
nine.
6,
Yeah.
and then the worst would be like you accidentally hit 4. So then you'd have to hang up,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to go.
Start all over.
It's like you're playing Wheel of Fortune.
Yep.
And then people would never get rid of things because I remember my grandma's phone. It was like on the last legs, but so you'd put the phone down to hang it up, and there was these 2 little like plastic pieces that the phone
And then
kind
the
of
phone
registered.
connected to.
But people's would be messed up, so we knew almost everyone's phone had like a matchbook, and they'd roll it up and they'd put it in there so it would act like that. I remember like all this stuff, and those phones were heavy, man.
My buddy, we were in a ball or something.
A can and a string.
2 boys. This is years ago. They were in their 18 and 20, I think they were at the time. And me and Bob, one of those kitschy stores or whatever, like kitsch shit, and not kid, but kitschy.
Answering
and they had
machines.
all old shit in there, and they had the old rotary phones. So I say to my buddy's sons, I go, "Hey guys, would you know how to use this?" And they're like, "Well, obviously it's a phone." And I go, "Yeah, but would you know how to use that?" Dial
For my
right
Visa
now.
run, yeah.
And they're like,
Visa runs tomorrow.
the guy
Trying to press the
picks up
button.
the phone and they're pushing on the numbers,
It's like,
and they're going, and they're like, it's not doing anything. And then he accidentally sort of moved it. And he's like, "What's that? Why is this moving?" Dude, they couldn't. They were 18 and 20 at the time. They couldn't. They were like, never seen a rotary phone or knew how to use a rotary phone.
I remember those
They
were the
didn't
first
know you go
phones
like this.
that I remember, yeah. I remember those.
I just remember my mind just going like this. Like, wow, like I feel fucking.
I remember that.
we went through a lot of generations at our age.
That's what's weird.
Going through
Technology.
I read this stat because like if you go from like 2000 to 1900, like from like the first 80 years of that, almost nothing really grew. But then like in the last 20 to 30 years of the 1900s, like we had cell phones, we had internet, all kinds of stuff.
You know, we were all born in and around. We're comparable
Fluffy's
to
not
the
bad.
people who were like born in like, if you think about it, like 1890, 1900, because that age group was horses and, you know what I mean, buggies, and then they got to see the cars
Airplane.
and phones and like that generation, like that's sort of like what we are, the industrial revolution. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, I remember payphones too.
That's who we are in a way.
But our trick, I'm sure everybody did it, unless I'm shocked, but if we were like at the movies or we needed our parents to pick us up, we'd dial 1-800-COLLECT, and then when they tell your name, we would say, "Come pick us up, we're at the movie theaters," and then you would hang up, because
Yeah.
there's no way your parents were going to pay for a collect phone call.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we would do that. We definitely would do that. That's the trick. Like, you wouldn't be like, "Hey, this is Joe, this is Mike," and then wait for your parents. Your parents weren't going to pick up. You could be bleeding somewhere at the hospital, and your parents were going to pay for that.
I think so. I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
We used to know the little code where you could make the
What about information?
payphone ring.
Remember how we used to? Yeah. Is that still exist?
I think so. I mean, even from the
Man, we used to steal phone books. Man, I remember phone books. We used to go to people's houses and just steal phone. Like when I had a bad friend when I was young, and we would go because they would drop the phone book off at everyone's
I
house,
used to use the shit out of
and
that.
we would go. We stole probably like 50 phone books in our neighborhood. Like we did so much stuff.
They were free. They're always out.
We were like 12 years old. His
Yeah.
parents didn't care. We were bad. He influenced me.
Those things are heavy.
It was summertime.
Oh, you say, where in my day?
Oh yeah, those were heavy, man. Like we would take like 5, and we'd have to like go store them. We had like a little, I wouldn't even say like a playhouse or a tree house or something, but it was like a little stash
How
house.
we waste of paper that was. Just think, every single American household got those
Yeah.
that live in business
Yeah.
yearly.
And then you go for the yellow pages, yep.
Oh yeah, the yellow pages. That's how
And
we,
then it was like
we
your
would
name
use
had
the
to be
phone
in the
book
phone
and
book
call
to be
people. Like I said,
somebody.
we did
Like,
a
if you
lot of
weren't
prank
in
phone
the phone
calls.
book,
We'd go
like-
through phone books,
Yeah, 'cause they
and
had
we'd
that.
find people with funny names, and then we would call them. We'd be like, "Hey, is Harry Dick there?" And they'd be like, "I think you got the wrong number." And we'd go through, we'd go check all the places, man. I wonder where that friend is. That friend, I'm sure he's done some jail time by now.
Yeah, who made that popular? I remember listening to a tape. I was in high school. The Jersey, not Jersey Boys.
Jersey Shore.
Turkey Boys. Turkey Boys were the first to go on tape. They used to record themselves, and then you could get, that would be, you buy the cassette. They were the first to do and put it out there. We'll call it mainstream.
We didn't take the phone books home.
Did,
We stashed them somewhere. Either
crank calls.
at the end of the day, we would throw them somewhere, or we would stash them in our little hiding spot. I remember that same friend is the one that was like, "Hey, you gotta come down to the liquor store was called 5 Point." He's like, "Gotta come down there," and I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Let me show you." It's called 5 Point Liquor, and they were always owned by Seats. So we would go in there. And he's like, "I gotta show you something in the dumpster." And I was like, "What the?" I was like, "What are you gonna show?" And he was like, "Cause this place was a movie theater. Not a movie theater, but a movie rental place. You can rent video games, and it's right next to it." And we went in there, and he was like, "Look." And there was a box, but it was covered up. And I could recognize the box was from his house. And I was like, "Why is your box in there?" And he goes, "No, look." And it was a whole stack of Playboy magazines. That's back when they had Playboy magazines. And he thought he hit the jackpot. Because back then there was no computers, there was no phone. He was 12 years old and he found those. And he was like, "I got to store them down here because my mom will get mad." And he was like, "Hey man, I know you got that little," we had a little makeshift fort or something. Very, very cheap. And I guess we stored it there, and I think my family found it, my stepmom or something found it, and I had to take all the blame. And I don't even think I ever even got to see them. He brought them in there, and we went back out for the day.
Yeah, you guys weren't born. When were you guys born? Okay, 1989. They were
89.
Yeah, the Turkey Boys. I was trying to explain who they were.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember them, but I don't remember
They were
89.
the first.
89, I
They
would
weren't
only
on
been
television.
7.
You would buy the tapes.
Yeah.
And then they would have all their prank calls and all their. Dude, they were really good.
Yeah, I remember
Really
tapes. I remember listening to tapes, and I remember watching VHS tapes. So I remember recording. I used to learn hacks. Our hacks back then. So you'd buy a blank tape,
Throw that in there.
or if you didn't have a blank tape, what you would do is you would let's say you found your dad's who would be someone terrible back in those days? Michael Bolton. If you found someone's Michael Bolton tape, and you're
Michael
like,
Bolton?
"Who the hell is Michael Bolton?" Right? And you would put a piece of paper up at the top of the tape, and then you could put it in your stereo, and then you can hit play and record, and you record. And that's how we would get stuff. We couldn't rewind stuff or have saved songs, so you would record songs off the radio so that you can listen to them down the road. But I remember one time you know who my dad liked? My dad liked Queen. So I found a whole stash of his tapes. And remember, tapes were the thing back then. I think my dad used to like Queen or something. I know that's who he used to like, but I can't remember what tape. And we wanted
I'm sort of shocked by that. Your dad like Queen?
my dad likes all that old.
I mean, I like Queen, but I'm just surprised.
My
he
dad's 65.
didn't. Now?
Yeah. So I found a whole bunch of his tapes, and I was like, I don't know who this crap is, right? So we recorded some music, some kind of stupid music or something we recorded off the radio, and then I think I left that in the stereo back in those days, and then my dad went to go play his tape, and then he finds out it was hey, this is KBLX smooth, whatever, and then it was us doing a prank or something, calling in on the radio station. My dad was so mad. I remember I got in trouble a few times. I got in trouble for shoplifting at Target with that same friend. I think we were 13 years old.
You were a bad shoplifter.
That was my first time ever
I used to steal
shoplifting.
toys all the time from Kmart.
That was my first time I ever shoplifted, and I got caught the first time.
You know what I would steal though? This is so stupid. So the GI Joes, I wanted the weapons because his hand would hold any of the weapons. But I didn't want to buy the new figurine. You had to buy the new figurine with the weapon. I just wanted the weapon. So I would crack open the figurine in the aisle, take out the little weapon.
So you would go steal, and then you'd go to your Catholic school the next day, and then go steal the sandwich from the Catholic school again?
We stole from
I had morals. I went to public school.
I was an altar boy. We used to take so I caught on. I was always really observant. I caught on when I was an altar boy that they only cleaned out the poor boxes, which were there's 4 entrances to the church, two entranceways. So you had one on the right, one on the left. This little hallway where you light your candle. Every Sunday evening would be the last day of the week, 7 day a week, right? That'd be the last day. Money and envelopes would be coming out because it would just be a little slot, like a mailbox. That was their core box. There would be stuff coming out of it. Like if you stuck your little arm down there, you could just take as much as you want. So your job, for an altar boy, that last Sunday mass at night, is to clean the area around the candles.
They didn't mean clean the money.
Blow out all the candles and everything. So I go by and I notice all the envelopes of money coming out of the wall, and I'm like, Jesus! And I push the flap down, thinking that would do it, and then the flap goes. And I'm like, and I stuff my hand down and I go like that. And I'm not thinking anything of it at the time. I just push everything down, like forcing all the money and envelopes down. Then I go to the other side, clean up that area. And I notice the same thing. I put that down, flop it down. And I'm like, and as I'm pushing it down, all of a sudden in my mind, I'm like,
G.I. Joes.
man, I could easily just take a handful of money and envelopes right now.
God's not watching.
God's not
He's
watching.
taking a nap.
And I didn't. I cleaned them up, but I noticed, I had gotten a schedule, so we had like an actual work schedule for altar boys.
A work schedule.
I noticed I got this Sunday evening thing for a while. So I noticed every Sunday, this was a big problem all the time. At least one of the 4 would be overflowing.
That was your cut?
Finally, I was brazen enough. And when I say I took, it was like, I think the most I ever took was like $4. I knew he was there.
I knew you. If he was there, then why'd you take any?
I was like, God can lend me $4.
He can
And I
lend.
would just take a couple dollars and go to the 7-Eleven and, buy junk.
Man, you're lucky they didn't have cameras back then. You would have been,
Yeah.
hey, what's going on?
It
Oh.
was so easy. I could have taken so much more every Sunday.
And they probably put you on that schedule because they probably thought you were most trustworthy.
Probably.
Yeah, and
You were the ones giving out.
the church is actually watching this live stream right now,
Because
too.
Monday, the irony is Monday, our janitor of the school, he would go in I noticed because that's what happened. That's when I knew when they cleaned it out. So every Monday morning, because it was locked, that slot that went to the other side, went to this room that had a door locked. So our janitor, I went to the next Monday morning mass, which is like 5:30 or something, the first mass. And I saw him going around all 4 entrances, opening the door with his keys and dumping it all in these huge satchel sacks, And I looked in the room and I was like, Jesus, like, it was just a Catholicism, man. They got money.
And it's tax-free.
Tax-free.
I'm going to start a
And there
Catholic
was these
church.
satchels of
Write off
money.
all my loans. Write off all
I wouldn't
my...
doubt if he was maybe taking some.
Yeah, he would have blamed you. He'd have been like, no, that little kid over there,
Yeah,
he's the one that
so,
stole
yeah.
it. I seen him. Snapped a Polaroid picture of you. You used to be able to get away with crime back then, though. But no one really, for as easy as you should be able to get away with stuff back then, people didn't do it that much. Now people do much more crime, and you get caught easy.
If a kid was in my shoes, the kids of today would have literally cleaned that place out.
And bought a condo with it,
And bought stuff.
and got a new
And I would
got a
feel
new identity.
I even remember the first thing I ever stole in my life. It was juicy fruit gum. I'll never forget. And I didn't open it for like over a month. It sat in my.
Why, you thought someone was gonna come get it,
No, I thought I was like someone's gonna police gonna knock on the door.
and then you're gonna
like,
give it back to him?
Yeah, I
Hey,
never-
sorry, it's a month
I never
old.
had it in here.
Jeez Louise.
That was like 1976. I'll never forget.
76.
1976.
Jesus Christ.
Stealing in
I still.
76? Oh my God.
I was 6 years old.
I wasn't even thought of
Took
it.
a pack of juicy fruit gum.
Jeez
I don't
Louise.
even know if they still make that.
You know, the gum that I was intrigued by
when I was a kid was the zebra gum, or whatever the hell it's called.
Stripe gum.
And it had like all different flavors in it.
Stripes, right?
But they all
I don't
taste
remember
the
what it was
same.
called.
Yeah, they all taste the same, and the flavor was gone in like 2 seconds.
Yeah. That was good. And then, you know, here's
What was the one that had the horse head and it had?
That's what he's talking about, the fruit stripe.
Right. Yeah.
here's
Yeah,
the
that's-
gum that you guys should have never ate, but I probably ate hundreds, if not thousands, of pieces of it. You would go. I love collecting baseball cards,
Oh, I
and then
have.
you'd get that old ass. Sometimes that stuff would be like as hard as cement,
as a rock.
and I would still eat it. I would still eat it. That thing, and it would have dust or something on it, that white powder.
Yeah. What was that mysterious stuff?
Bazooka. And then it would also have like maybe a tattoo or like.
Oh yeah, sometimes I'd have that. Oh no,
Yeah.
what I remember is I
Yeah.
hated Cracker
Remember that.
Jacks, but I always used to love to get the
The
prize.
horse.
I come from
For 17 sticks.
Cracker Jacks, man. You would open up Cracker Jacks, and there'd be a prize in there. But I even come from the days when you would get cereal, and there'd be a prize in the cereal. I don't know when they stopped doing that. I bet you it's like all like digital now. But we used to love. Man, I would open up a box of cereal, like even if I didn't, because I wasn't a big cereal guy, and I'd reach my hand in there and go. As soon as we get home from the grocery store, I wouldn't wait.
Dump it all out.
I was like,
put it in a bigger bowl.
I wouldn't even dump it out. I just put my hand in there and reach in there and grab the little toy. I'd start feeling around the Captain Crunch and dig in there. But I was like, who are these madmen that actually like take 6 days of eating their cereal and they're like, oh, here's the prize. I was like, no. As soon as you get home, you open it up and you get the prize. I don't want my brother to get this. Like, hell no.
Cracker Jacks. The best prize I always wanted in there was the tattoos.
Yep.
The tattoo.
Will you
I never
wet
was
your
big into the
skin?
tattoos. I know those. The ice
I like
cream.
those.
Oh, the ice cream truck, man. You guys remember the ice cream truck? We were too poor to have that, but we would always get lucky with my one upper class friend, and his mom would buy us like, oh, you know what ice cream I remember that I would always get that I thought was a treat? No, I wasn't that. The Flintstones Push Pops. I love the Push Pops. Or here's the other one that you guys will know. This was a luxury. So Push Pop was just like, oh man, you got lucky, but this was a luxury. Some of you guys will know this. The wrestling ice cream bars. Those, man, if you guys don't know those, you guys
never
are
even heard
not wrestling fans. But I'll show you guys. I know any wrestling fan, any decent, respectable wrestling fans. WWF, they were awesome, man. They were good. They were like a cookie wafer with chocolate, and then they would come with a card. Here it is. These were awesome. You guys remember those ice cream bars? These.
Guess what's my
These are them. You don't remember those?
nighttime goggles?
I know.
They were like wafer on the outside, vanilla on the inside, and then chocolate on the back, and they would have each wrestler, and then in the box there'd be a card. Like
Is it a wafer?
Never saw it.
it was like it was kind of like a cookie and a wafer. It was chewy, but it wasn't like a solid cookie. Man, if you had one of those, you definitely were like, oh, your key's right there. You'd be like, oh my god, I got a wrestling bar. Now I heard like they sell them at Walmart or something now. Like that's
Never
the
saw
only
it.
place you can ever find them was on the ice cream man. Jolly Ranchers, man, that's our cheap candy that you get at the convenience store. Now Laters, Jolly Ranchers, dill pickles in the jar that you had to reach your hand in at the convenience store. Candy bars were like 45, 50 cents back then. And those were the days,
Those
man.
were the days, man, but money went a long way. You used to get 25 cents for a Debbie pie. Now you get that same pie for like $2.
$2.
Yeah. It's like I don't buy it just for the sake of the fact that it's $2.
Oh, you mean the brand Little Debbie's? Yeah.
Like you get like,
Dale
like
is
a-
praying
like a
for his,
fudge
he's
round,
repenting
right?
for his crimes.
Fudge rounds
I
used
do
to
feel
be
bad to listen.
25 cents.
I bet you someone's gonna pop and be like, hey Dale, man, I was the pastor at your church. I saw you on YouTube. We got busted by the IRS because we were short $7 on the return that we claimed that year. Do you think you can come and bail us out? We heard $7 was missing. Remember someone recognized you on here, one of your family members. Remember it was like 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, I think it was my nephew.
They were like, hey, that's my family member. But did you know them?
Oh no, I think it was my cousin. It was my cousin. Yeah, it was my cousin. I think it was my cousin.
Dude, you know them good and everything?
Yeah.
That's crazy that they were just like, yeah, I'm watching someone stream and I just seen like my relative that, but I think they said something like, I haven't seen him in years since we were kids or something. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, that was, oh, fuck, what's that? Jeez. I don't know, it was either my nephew or, I think it was my
Hershey's bars were 15. Man, you must be
Yeah.
older than me, man. I think the cheapest I remember candy bars were like 25, maybe 45 cents.
Yeah,
they were
25
under
cents.
50 cents.
25 cents when I was in
But-
the 70s.
Yeah, I never remember candy bars being a quarter. I remember our little candy up at the liquor store counter would be like 5 cents, 10 cents.
Spores still to
Oh,
this
yeah.
day is my ultimate.
I remember that one, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated those toffee ones.
Yeah.
I like. Here's a candy bar that you guys won't remember, but it was big in those days.
Of course I remember.
Caramello, I love those. Rolos, I love roll. I think that's where my love for caramel comes
Yeah,
from.
you're
Yeah.
mentioning everything.
It had to have been. That's my first days of caramel. Rolos, I don't see. Do those exist anymore? I've never seen them. Even when I was back in the
You
USA,
can only get them in a big
Well,
bag
then
though.
you must have liked
You don't. They
Sugar
don't
Babies
have.
then.
They don't have.
I didn't
them
like
small.
sugar babies.
Really? That's the caramel. What about Sugar Daddy?
No, I didn't really care for those. They were too chewy.
Really?
I like caramel the liquid.
Yeah.
I don't like caramel the.
Yeah.
I didn't like Laffy Taffies. I wasn't big on Laffy
What about
Taffies.
a zero ones?
I've seen zero.
That's a lot bigger.
I liked
A zero candy
100
bar?
grand. I
It's-
like those
it's the
candy bars.
white-
Oh, the
Oh.
white 1000.
Oh, you know what? Here was kind of the not luxury, but
Whatchamacallit?
the upper class candy. The Hershey, what was it? Good Bar or something?
Oh,
They-
and this is kind of like the new version of the Rolos, the Risings.
Is this have raisin in it?
No.
What is raisin?
It's
Oh, I don't know.
chocolate caramel covered, chewy candy.
I ate a lot of
Oh,
Nestle
very
Crunch.
Rolo, though.
I love those. But they came in a round pack.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
open
they
them
usually-
up and
Yeah,
you
but
throw
I'm
'em
telling
out.
you, they only come in
From
those
the
big
bag.
bags now.
I ate a lot of Nestle's Crunch. Snickers
This
is my
This is your
go-to.
little round pack that you're
Yeah,
talking about.
these are them Rolos. I liked Nestle's Crunch. Bubble tape. You guys remember Bubble tape?
It's bubble gum, right?
But it came like in a
Yeah, they have. That's
like
all
a
they have.
like
here.
a tape measure type of thing, and you pull your.
Like that's big here.
They have bubble tape.
Yeah.
So it came like in a little pink container, and then like you pull it out and you can rip
big
it.
here.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Oh, you know what else I used to get? Some of you guys will remember this. The Big League bubble gum chew.
Yeah.
It came in like a.
Like a dip.
Yeah, it was like the
a
tobacco, but it was
tobacco
gum.
thing,
It was
yeah.
like grape. I love that stuff. Man, a lot of that stuff just doesn't exist. Oh, you know what else we had? We had, I know some of you guys will remember this one. Candy cigarettes.
Of course.
Those, man.
Of course.
You'd have the cigarettes and
Yep. Act like you were.
like, imagine like now could you get sued for someone?
Well, actually, what you have to do,
You'd have to like,
blow out.
and it was
blow
like
out
powdered
to get the
sugar.
powder.
Yeah, you'd have to, and you, and then like the powdered sugar would pop out. And they encouraged us to drink and smoke
What
back
was
then.
okay, it was
Latin Mart
yeah,
got just
flat
about
pack.
every.
They just must have got all
flavor of bubble tea.
our ration. They just like, hey, let's get rid of this. It's outlawed in USA. Send it over to Danong. Bubble tape. I didn't know they had bubble tape.
Yeah, that's like super huge here.
There used to be this one thing that would fold out
Fruit roll-up?
like in the threes, and it came with a stick, a white stick.
Yeah,
and
dips-
powder.
Oh, fun dip.
Dipsticks.
And you would
Yeah.
dip.
Fun dip.
I
You would
just
dip
like-
the sugar stick.
Well, first
into
you'd
the
have
powdered
no.
sugar.
First you would have to
Sugar.
lick
No,
it.
you would
You'd have to
lick it first.
You had to
Lick
lick
it,
it
and then
to get it
and then
wet.
your friend would want some, and you'd be like, "Here you go. Use this. Use
That
this
was
stick."
the worst invention, looking back, ever. Just a bunch of pouches of sugar. It was what? Who the?
I remember one time I got the candy cigarettes, and
What was the
I
name
got
of
the
that?
fun dip.
Fun dip.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
We had the candy cigarettes, and then
Oh, God.
down the other aisle when I got them was the fake. It was like candle wax, but it came in like a bottle looking like alcohol, but it was like Coke or something in it. So I would have the candy cigarette, and then I would crack open the little candy bottle, and then chug down a Jack. Oh, speaking of that,
that had like a Coca-Cola syrup in it or something, but it was wax.
it was wax. You couldn't
weren't
eat it.
supposed to eat it.
Mm.
But here's
But you
what you
could
guys.
chew it. And
Yeah.
stuff. But
Yeah.
Here's what was my
crazy.
here's what the luxury candy when I got a little
thought
older was. The chocolate filled liquor. You guys remember those during Christmas time?
You can't see it, but that's them right there. Fun Dip.
Oh yeah. It was like grape and something else.
No, I had bought some back when I came back from the States. I bought it to give
Are
to
you serious?
I bought it to give to the kids at my place where I stay at.
Oh my god.
Man, what was I just
They
talking
still
about?
sell that.
Remind me, what did I just say? What I had?
RFK needs to get that off the shelves.
Oh, the chocolate liquors. So they would be like chocolate,
Oh, and also
and then you'd
this
break
right
them
here.
open, and there was like shots of alcohol in them, and
Oh,
you'd get them
is
during
it?
Christmas
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
I
holidays.
chugged a lot of those. Pop rocks,
Yeah.
pop
I bought
rocks,
that
yeah.
for the kids.
Remember
too.
the urban legend with that? If you drink it with soda,
I
you
would drink
die?
it with soda,
Like you're-
but they would pop like crazy.
you would-
Handy snacks. You guys remember handy snacks? Those were the little crackers with the red stick, and you'd put the Kraft cheese on
Oh
them and spread
yeah,
them.
I didn't know that's what it was called, but yeah.
I remember those. Tear out the card.
Phil-
What card? Philip was way before this time. His candy was probably like candy corn, the worst candy ever invented.
Kettle corn.
Or what is it called? Salt taffy, water taffy, or
Oh, yeah.
something like that.
It's happy.
Taffy, that was like his only available candy. Like there was no such thing as chocolate back. Philip's so old that he used to see in black and white, not just his TV, but his vision used to be black and white. That's how old Philip is. I guess you guys ready? I'm gonna go to the cafe. You guys gonna go or?
I'm not going to the cafe.
I'm gonna go, man. I'm gonna do my little.
Get your
Watermelon
get your
juice.
steps in.
I am gonna get my. I feel like I got enough the other day when I got 14,000. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. It was
Ninja turtle pies. I remember those, but I don't think I was ever. I was never nice enough or affordable enough to have those. But I do remember. Remember those other pies that used to come in?
What?
They'd come in the package. They'd have the little cardboard piece of paper, and then they'd be like berry or apple. I know you had those. I forgot what they
you
were.
say pies?
They were like little pies, but
like the little cubic pies.
they were just like, you would buy them like at a store, and they would come in and they'd be like lemon, they'd be like apple, and then you'd open them up and they're like personal hand little individual pies.
Yeah.
I forgot what those are called, but I remember those too. Where are we at? Where are we at on? Oh, I got 50%, so. Oh yeah, I forgot. Dale is not a walker. He's a Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson orange. Wash that down with a banana split and hang out till the sun goes down. Man, a banana split was a luxury, man. I think I could probably count the many times that I had count the freaking.
I'll see you.
He's gonna go look on Amazon to go try to find some of these candies and snacks. Have them shipped to Vietnam. The Vespa guy. Oh, they're having dinner. There's Gilda's. Gilda's is open now. There's a lot of people at the pool. And dessert. Jonah! Maybe he was watching the live stream. I think I'm gonna go get a watermelon juice. Mark is exhausted, man. He wore himself out from thinking about all those snacks from the old days. This is the place that Dale wants to try, but I swear it's just chicken feet, or mostly chicken feet. So I don't know if he wants to eat that or not. Legs of chicken. Oh, there we go. I hate that I got to get up early tomorrow, so I am kind of pushing off going back home. But I do have to go wash some dishes. I got to make some of my food that I'm going to bring for me tomorrow. I don't really have to pack too much. I'm just going to bring my water bottle and my other stuff. All right, buddy. I'm going to go this way. All right, man. I appreciate it. I think I'm going to have a watermelon juice. Vespa guy. Man, we did a lot of memories today, but there's not that many people in the room. Some reason no one's really in the room tonight. Maybe I'll have to restart the stream when I get to the cafe. We had a great chat during dinner, but not too many People, where you guys at? Where you guys at? Now that I can focus on the chat, no one's talking. It smells good over here. This is new. Let's take a look and see what they're selling over here. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's like a soup. It's like a soup. Xin chào. Oh, they got the dumplings there too. Come on. Let's try to cross. It's soup and dumplings. Eating dinner. We've been live for 2 hours. Who eats dinner for 2 hours? But oh, there's my scooter. This is the one I want right here. Look. There it is. This is exactly the scooter. Fluffy can sit there, and I would sit there. That's my scooter. Or maybe I'd get the yellow one. Here's the yellow one. Look. This is exactly the scooter I would ride. I'd ride this all the way to Ho Chi Minh. There it goes. Look. Fluffy can sit in the back seat there. I call it caramel. Not rich people call it caramel. Rich people have to add too much syllables to it. Man, I really want that caramel ice blend, but I don't think I can do it. I should just stick to the watermelon juice. Whatchamacallit, I remember that name, and I'll have to take a look at it when I sit down, but I think that was like one of the most overrated names because I kind of remember it not being that good. The name was great, but it wasn't that good. Hanami Hotel. We already talked about that when we talked about the Big League Chew. We were talking about it. How it came in like the pouch, like tobacco, chewing tobacco. And it'd be like grape or strawberry. But the best one was the wrestling ice cream bar. Or the push-ups. The push-ups. Lucky's? I don't know what Lucky's is. My brother, if you ask my brother, I think my brother would say his favorite candy was like Starburst. I never was a fruit candy fan. I liked more of the chocolates. I was a chocolate candy type of person, and my brother was more Skittles and Starburst. I wasn't really a big fruit candy kind of guy. Hopefully I'll get a seat in the front by the drive-thru instead of being tucked in the back. Oh yeah, everyone loves the peanut butter cups, but you got to distinguish them because the mini cups and the regular cups definitely taste different. There must be a different ratio. I like the bigger cups, the bigger, flatter cups where you came 2 in a package rather than the little tiny mini cups, because the flatter, larger ones taste much better than the smaller mini cups. Snickers, yeah, Snickers is always kind of the default. Look at the church, just follow the church. You know what I like Snickers? Cloud 9. But I think it's only in the Philippines. That was kind of a good candy bar, and I found one store that either had them on extremely crazy discount prices or they had the wrong price, but I almost cleared out their inventory in the Philippines. But then I never found them at that price again. I love Almond Joy, and I love, what's the other one? Mounds. I love Mounds. I'm gonna try to cross over here in a second. Almond Joy. I think Mounds is better though. We're walking down Food Street. We're hoping to get a front row seat at my favorite cafe. You guys always want to check out this Bond Bakery. So it looks like the top. Oh, maybe they changed the name. We'll show you this though. Torino Bakery. I've always been in here and I've never got anything, but I'll show it to you guys. Sit y'all. Damn, look at all these. They look so good. Look at that nut tart. Man, what is this one? That one looks like my style right there. A cannoli, a Sicilian style cannoli. This looks good. Man, this is the most desserts I've ever seen them have. Look at this. A chantilly pistachio, baba. Damn, all these look good. Carrot cake. A jam tart. There's mine in the back. I love like a chocolate mousse. And look at those. Those look nice. Come on. We got bread here. Today I haven't spent nothing, man. I gotta give big thumbs up. Mark has been footing the bill on the dinner, so big thumbs up to Mark. And Fluffy's gone, so actually my budget this month has been pretty good. The most, well, besides the rent, but I paid 3 months in advance actually. But the biggest bill that I paid this month then, technically, has been my Visa run. If I didn't have my Visa run this year, my monthly bills would be very nice this month. But I gotta pay for the Visa run every 3 months. Visa run is tomorrow. So we're just a few hours away. Let me put my phone back. Hold on, let me put my phone back, guys. Sorry about that. I gotta turn that off. Mark is a billionaire. Oh, there's the cream puffs, but they're 15,000. No, Mark's not working remote. It's not cheat day. No, it's not cheat day. It's cheat night. Barbecue restaurant. I got some teas over here. And then here's my favorite cafe. I'm hoping, yeah, we're all billionaires here. Well, I don't think I'm a billionaire. I think I'm for sure a millionaire, but I don't know about a billionaire. That chicken place is shut down, I think. Yeah, I think this chicken place is shut down. This is the second time I've walked by and it's closed. I think that chicken place went out of business. I think that chicken place is out of business. It looks like I have a front row seat today. I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna sit here. Let me sit here. Set this up. I'll get my charger out. Get my charger out, guys. Get my charger. I'm gonna restart the stream, guys. Give me a second. Hopefully you guys will come right back in. I'm gonna restart this really, really quickly. Central. Can I know what I want. Caramel ice blend. But can I